You're my psycho.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
I know. I am your psycho.
It was either that or a close second was rickety-dickety-doo.
So we're back. This is our full breakdown of Gamer, the 2009 Gerard Butler movie. Right. I think maybe like as we were talking before we started this, I think we maybe convinced ourselves we actually like this movie. Maybe
yes, I'm having fun now.
This movie is so terrible that
rickety-dickety-doo.
that maybe it's good. I don't know. Is it? Oh no. Or is it like so bad it's good? Oh no.
No.
We don't. No. Okay. All right. No.
It's so bad it's unwatchable. With a few funny parts. That's what I'm sticking with.
All right. Well, you want to recap us? What is this movie about?
Yeah. So in a future mind controlling game, death row convicts are forced to battle in a Doom type environment. Convict Cable, controlled by Simon, a skilled teenage gamer, must survive 30 sessions in order to be set free.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Nailed it.
Yeah, they summed up the whole plot. Good job this time. IMDb contributor.
How did we do with our prognostications? So we got one thing.
Pretty good.
We nailed one thing on the nose.
We nailed a few things on the nose.
The dance number.
Yep, I called the Broadway.
That was definitely you. You called that.
Very excited about Michael C. Hall. You called the HUD. We got a lot of HUD.
A lot of HUD. Yep, heads up display for our non-gamers out there.
That's right. A lot of POV, like Doomed style shots, which I was very
Doom type environment. Yep,
happy about.
I think they're going to aim for like a satire, which they were trying.
They tried. Satire attempted.
When satire is attempted and fails, it is not good. You got to stick the landing, because if you don't, it's just not good.
It's worse. Yeah,
it's not good. So, so I think generally we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great work, Gus.
All right. So quick info. So this was we had a duo directors here, which, like we said,
rarely good.
Unless you're the Coen brothers, don't.
Yeah. Come on, Russo brothers, maybe.
Maybe the Daniels. Oh,
Wachowski sisters. I don't know.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Maybe
there's a couple of duos.
All right. Damn it.
But like they're few and far between.
I mean, we literally just listed 3, so that's it.
Think of how many movies there are.
Okay, so we're still on duos. Don't do it.
Duos don't do it. Yeah,
don't do it. So this is directed by Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor. Also, they wrote this too, so they're screenwriters and directors.
Oh,
yeah. So they are known for. They've been a duo for a while here, so they're known for the Crank movies. I don't know if you remember those with what's his face there,
Jason Statham.
Yes, thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, they did Crank and Crank High Voltage, and then this movie, and I think they're both involved with the Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance movie.
Wait, hold on. So
yeah.
So these guys do one very specific thing until 2015.
Yep.
Because I'm assuming the Vatican tapes is not in the spirit of Crank or Gamer.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, it's a horror movie. So.
Actually, no. Maybe it is the same.
Literally, it's the Vatican tapes. It's literally The Exorcist. A priest and 2 Vatican exorcists must do battle with an ancient satanic force to save the soul of a young woman. Okay,
I kind of want to watch that.
So yeah, these guys are a duo. Except Brian Taylor, though, for writing wise, though, so
he's gone rogue.
Yeah, he went rogue. He did Jonah Hex, which was terrible.
Didn't see it.
I think Mom and Dad was with
didn't see it.
But Happy, that TV show, I love that show. Happy was awesome. He did 18 episodes of it.
Is that the one with Jim Carrey?
No. It's with what's his face from SVU, Christopher Maloney.
What is this?
Show is great, so highly recommend that. But yeah, so that's it. They actually don't have a lot of stuff.
Amateurs.
I'm going to
besides doing 6 blockbuster movies.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. After watching this movie, though, I was like, look, I'm on board for everyone making their art and doing their thing, but I was like, if they never direct another movie ever again, I'd be okay with that. Like,
I think they had a good run.
This movie was, I would say, almost unwatchable. Like it was painfully, it was painful. It was painful to watch.
Yep.
And I'll tell you right now, you can tell when if you go to IMDb and you go on Mark Neveldine's IMDb page.
I would never.
This is his profile photo is him on rollerblades with a camera.
He looks like Stifler. Doesn't he?
Yes. And I was like, all right, just relax.
In a good
Relax.
way. Like, that's a compliment.
Just relax, guy. Anyways, all right. So that's our directors. Those are our screenwriters. So the two of them are directly to blame for this.
Sure.
Who's in this movie? So we got the G Butts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Friend of the pod. He plays Cable, aka John Tillman. Is it John Tillman? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, John Tillman.
Michael C. Hall playing Dexter. Now he plays Ken Castle. He's our villain. Amber
plays himself.
Yep. It's like
just as Michael C. Hall.
I think Michael C. Hall, like after watching, was like, man, he's not in any good movies, but he's in good TV shows. Dexter and 6 Feet Under.
Okay, sure.
I think that's where he needs to be.
Yeah.
I've not seen a movie where he's good. He's just not. It's weird.
I guess I rarely see him in movies.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean,
stick to Broadway, stick to TV shows.
Amber Valletta, she plays Angie, who is Cable's wife. Kyra Sedgwick, she plays Gina Parker Smith, who's kind of our commentary on media. She's the media.
Yeah, she's definitely in the movie.
Logan Lerman plays Simon.
Oh wait, you mean 2013 MTV Movie Award nominee for Summer's Biggest Teen Badass, Logan Lerman?
Oh my god.
Bringing back a segment that I like.
Yes, that's the Logan we know.
By finding a weird award.
He plays Simon, which obviously is very on point. Simon Says, because he controls Cable, right?
Yeah, Percy Jackson himself.
Oh, that's what he's. Okay.
That's what he was nominated for. Summer's Biggest Teen Badass.
I was gonna say, he looks familiar, but I didn't know what. Mm-hmm. Then we got Chris Bridges.
That's right.
AKA Ludacris. I gotcha.
You got me.
Yeah. I was like, who's Chris Bridges? He plays, I guess, the leader of the hacker group Humans. Yeah, Humans with a Z. Because
because of course it is.
His name, I guess his character's name is Brother. Alison Lohman, she plays Trace. She's also part of the hacker group Humans. Mm-hmm. She's also married to Mark Neveldine, I believe.
Oh, okay. So it's nepotism.
Yeah. I mean, come on. John Leguizamo, friend of the pod, just popping up. He plays Freak. He's just a prison
convict,
guy. Yeah, convict.
Fellow convict, chatty convict.
And I mostly picked this guy.
Problematic convict.
Yeah, I mostly picked this guy because one, his character's name is Pigface Ron, but his name is Med Arbrus.
Cool name. Oh, so you're not going to shout out Jade Ramsey? Come dumpster number 2.
No.
Actual character name.
Can you imagine that? Like, and they had like speaking lines and other parts that they had to do. Incredible. Can you imagine be like, all right, here's your part.
Hey, come dumpster number 1.
No, you're number 2. Number 1.
I'm saying it like that because it's spelled Kumdumpsta. One word. Number 2.
I hate this movie.
Incredible. There's 2 of them.
I hate this already.
Great writing.
All right. So, and a little, well, let's finish through this and we'll get into everything.
We'll get there.
All right. So production budget, box office stuff. Worldwide, this made $42 million. Domestic,
pretty
20.
Good.
Yeah. Domestic 20, international 21. Video made another $16 million.
13,000 and change fanatics.
Jesus. On a budget of $50 million.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I mean, mildly profitable.
Well, probably not. No, definitely not. Because I mean, only worldwide made 42, 16 in video, but like
they probably didn't do that much marketing for it.
No, I remember. I like trying to remember. I think I remember this movie coming out. I remember seeing like ads for it, but
okay.
I think they were riding off the crank.
The crank wagon.
Yeah, crank wagon. Yes, the old crank wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomatoes sits at
crank
30. Right. Rotten Tomatoes is 30% audience, critic, and 39 audience.
That's generous.
That's way too high.
Yeah.
Like, this movie should be like under 15%. Like this is at the borderline of us being able to do it.
Yeah, somehow. Because I agree, it's definitely one of the worst movies we've done.
It's terrible,
unwatchable.
Yeah, I would go as far as almost saying it's like unwatchable.
Like Thais, and I think I've been talking about Thais a bunch. She suggested this movie to us. For new listeners, that's my wife, Thais.
That's my wife.
She suggested this, but she also has watched this now multiple times. So just keep that in mind, because I will hopefully never watch this movie again.
Yeah, I don't need this movie ever again in my life. So.
Nope. Please no.
All right. Yeah. Do you want fast facts? You want to hear some?
Yeah. Tell me. Fast fact me, Daddy. It's been a while.
And I know there's a line in the movie. I think you're going to pull
there.
it.
We'll get there.
It's like, son of a bitch.
Fact me daddy in the meantime.
All right, so fast facts. This film takes place in 2034.
Mm,
We're 11 years away from this being reality.
Now, did an IMDb person just make that up? Because they never say it's 2034.
Yeah, they don't.
They explicitly say at the beginning, a few years from now. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh my god. What a
few years from now.
Oh my
it's like
god.
how they set it up. Oh,
some years
from this exact moment is what they say.
Like who? What?
Incredible. Great writing.
My guess is that maybe if we could probably find the screenplay online somewhere. I bet maybe in there it's noted. But
wow, gross.
Yeah. It was originally titled, you ready for this one? It was originally titled Citizen Game.
I get
like
interchangeable.
Why? Like,
yeah, that's stupider. I'm glad they called it gamer, I guess, but it's still stupid.
Yeah.
It's not even about the gamer. The gamer's not the main character.
Nope. Keith David, who we all know and love from
other things. Good one. I know him, but I do not know what he's from. So
Keith David,
love that guy.
As we all know I know him from They Live, great movie,
right? Or the voice of the president in Rick and Morty.
He plays the detective. There's a lot of random like cameos in this movie too, but anyways, we'll get to it. He plays the detective in an interrogation scene, which he's in the movie for like 2 minutes total, I think, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways, he's in an interrogation scene with Simon, Logan Lerman's character. But he also did the voiceover for all the Slayers commercials that were in the movie. Oh, so
okay,
yeah, that's a fun one, right?
Good for him.
Michael C. Hall personally recommended actor Sam Witwer for his role after Witwer played Neil Perry in Dexter in 2006. So Sam Witwer, I pulled him out because he's big in the Star Wars world. He was in a couple Star Wars video games. He was like the actor for it. Yeah,
I'm not familiar with this guy.
Yeah.
So wait, what did he do in the movie?
He was when the wife went to go for the custody.
That
papers.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Michael C. Hall. What do you like? Yeah. What do you? Oh, I got a guy for a boring part that's like maybe 10 lines,
like 10 seconds.
What? Like fascinating.
Yeah. Right. The news anchors. There's many news anchors, but there's one in particular. Again, kind of random cameos here.
My favorites. I was super stoked.
Yeah, are played by Psych, 2006 Psych. Remember that show, right? Co-stars,
do I ever?
Co-star, yeah, because aren't you a big fan of that show?
I'm a psycho, yeah.
Yeah. Co-stars James Roday Rodriguez and Maggie Lawson, who, as the film's release, this movie, were also in their third year of a relationship.
Yeah, that's true. What a stupid way to tack that on. Like, why would you do that?
Right?
Like, they're not together anymore, so like it's not like it's
most of the movie was filmed in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and was a 53-day shoot. So month and a half, 2 months.
That's not bad.
Yeah, they cranked through it.
I guess we had to be in New Mexico though. So
we're getting some technical stuff here. So in an unusual move, because these directors are, they think differently. The film is
right.
Yeah, the film was actually shot for the 240:1 aspect ratio. However,
I was thinking that the whole time.
Yeah, me too. However, the first edited scenes were done with the unmatted image. Subsequently, masked to 240:1. Directors preferred the 185:1 version, which allowed the audience to see more information and accommodate the handheld camera work better. And so the aspect ratio was switched. Miraculously, no boom mics were needed to be digitally erased from the previously unused picture information. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's
I don't like this one.
They were shooting for a bigger aspect ratio because they wanted to get because they were also wanted. So I'm going to come to another one in a second here.
Sure, but like this is another one where it's like it has a weird tack on at the end where like miraculously no boom mics needed to be erased. Okay,
yeah, it's like what
I don't care. The rest of it was mildly interesting, and then
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Why add that in there?
While you're ahead, IMDb contributor.
Well, I'll jump to the next technical one. So the directors here, Neville Dine and Taylor, there wanted to make the film in 3D, but it was scrapped due to budget limitations. The film was later converted and released on Blu-ray 3D.
Smart.
Yeah, the studio was like, No. That's an extra 10 million? No.
Yeah, no way. I'm curious what the home 3D version is like.
Oh god. Does anyone even have a home 3D TV?
I had a buddy who had a 3D TV briefly.
He was like, this is stupid.
Actually, wait, Brady.
Brady?
Occasional friend of the pod. Brady had a 3D TV. Yeah.
Brady,
for a
what
while.
are you doing? Why?
Doesn't anymore, but he kept telling me he was going to invite me over to watch Gravity in 3D, and then it never happened. So
you may get rid of it.
So I've still never seen Gravity.
It's a good one. Yeah. The opening montage of time-lapse shots and other scenes of the world where we see ads for cable, which that opening is obnoxious, and graffiti of like King Castle, whatever, overlaid on buildings or walls, are mostly taken from Ron Frick's wordless film Baraka from 1992.
What?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, shots from the pyramids, India, and a homeless man sleeping on a bridge, among others. So they basically just lifted shots from someone else's movie and overlaid there.
I hate that.
Yeah. Like,
I hated that part of the movie, and now I hate it even more because it was stolen.
In a scene where Logan Lerman is being interrogated by Keith David, he's wearing a T-shirt with Crank imprinted on it.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, these guys made that movie, Crank and Crank High Voltage.
Wow.
One of the album covers shown in Simon's music library. I don't remember this at all because this movie was like edited like they've just dropped in a blender.
Yeah.
Is
very stressful.
Antithesis from a Kansas death metal band, Origin.
Oh.
So there you go. Check them out.
Why did they just pick out one of the things? I hate this. I hate whoever contributed all these trivia.
Yeah.
Incredible.
This one is kind of annoying because I don't want to even put this movie in the same bucket. But basically, someone just called out like, "Oh, this film shares several connections to Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner." There, the obvious one is there's a scene where one of the guys he's like scrolling through costumes for Cable's wife there.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and he comes across the old the Priss costume where she's got the paint over the eyes, whatever, and it's like
right
kind of hold on it, so it's like a black leotard, white face, black line across the lines.
Yeah,
that's a Blade Runner nod.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that.
Blade Runner is also a sci-fi film, obviously, that deals with programmed humans.
End there.
In this case, androids rather than gamers, cybernetically altered humans.
Yeah, that's not the same at all.
Yeah, that's not like why would you like that's
stupid.
I hate this. I hate people.
Oh, Blade Runner is also a sci-fi movie.
You know what? I'm not even going to read the rest of these. The last one is like the original ending of both films also features a main character and his love interest driving off on a winding mountain road.
Oh, I guess. But sort of like half Gerard Butler movies are like that anyway.
I mean, The Shining, right? Doesn't that end with him driving off or it opens with them driving on a windy road, right?
I think maybe a couple of the ones that we've done end that way too.
Yeah, it's the classic.
Greenland, I think, ends that way.
Yeah, it's a classic trope. You drive off on a winding road. It's like riding into the sunset.
Exactly.
Driving in a winding road. So
Geostorm, is he in that?
He was.
That basically ends that way too. Yeah.
Okay. You want Hollywood pitch me, motherfucker?
So I got a little lazy today, but I'm gonna run with it.
Do it.
So this is obviously Tron Legacy meets Howard the Duck. For a number of reasons. So the obvious play from Tron Legacy, right? So there's video games.
Yep.
In both movies.
Yep.
Video games that are like real, like you die in the game, you die in real life kind of things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I buy that.
In Tron Legacy, they also do kind of like a death match kind of thing, which is like this whole movie is basically one big death match montage. That's like really stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Both have like a not great villain, like a really boring, like 80s style, like one-dimensional villain.
Yep.
And the next one I'm going to get into also has like a bunch of like animated cut scenes that are like maybe don't fit as well. Tron Legacy did a better job with that.
I agree.
Of course. And both movies have like a jarring electronic industrial soundtrack, except for Tron Legacy is good because it's Daft Punk.
Yeah, that soundtrack's great.
Yeah, and this one is bad because it's half Marilyn Manson.
It's Marilyn Manson and Bloodhound Gang.
Yeah, exactly. Which, me in 2009, yeah, I like Bloodhound Gang. Sure. Good year for Bloodhound Gang.
Me now reflecting on that, choices were made.
Yeah, questionable choices were made. Now, meets Howard the Duck. Again, I think this is basically the same movie as Gamer, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So we get our unlikely hero, Howard the Duck, and in this case, John Tillman.
Yep.
Forced into circumstances beyond their control.
Yep.
Howard the Duck just gets, blasted off into space.
Yeah.
And this guy basically gets blasted off into the space of his mind, being controlled by Michael C. It basically is forced to commit a murder that puts him in prison, right? Like he's
yep.
His circumstances are out of his hands.
Yeah.
Both have partners who are sex workers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Beverly Switzler, famously in Howard the Duck, is a nude model, just like John Tillman's wife in this one.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's debatable whether that counts as sex work or not, but
yeah. Well, yeah.
I guess it kind of does.
It does. It does.
Yeah. It's everything about this movie is gross.
Yeah.
Howard the Duck, mildly offensive in parts, just like this movie.
Yep.
Things that were even inappropriate at the time they came out.
In 2009.
Yep. Doing a bad job of mixing animation with reality, like both movies.
Yep.
They both have like a kind of happy ending. Right?
Yeah.
Howard at the end, like he just he ends up performing with Beverly and he becomes her manager, and like the Duck overlords show up.
Yeah, he ends up in Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah,
right, exactly.
It all worked out for Howard.
Yeah, and this movie ends up with a nice drive through the mountains with his family.
The winding mountain ride. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically the same movie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's it.
What do you got?
I was like, should I even do mine?
Yeah.
I think I'm on the nose on this one. I actually picked my first one before I even watched the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went with it's The Running Man,
Sure.
1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger / Stephen King book.
Also the same movie.
Yeah, it's basically that's that movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except The Running Man was way better.
Yep.
Meets Free Guy, the Ryan Reynolds recent video game one. So I don't think I have to really explain too much here, but The Running Man, right? It's basically captures the because they're all convicts, right? I think in that one, right? And they're runners, right? And they have to escape death at the hands of like professional killers, blah, 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 which is basically this movie, right?
And that's when does Captain Freedom there show up? Former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura.
I'm not doing this.
Incredible.
I love that in The Running Man, by the way, that takes place. That's by 2017. I'm on Wikipedia right now. By 2017, the United States has become a totalitarian police state following a worldwide economic collapse. I mean, not wrong. Like, this movie is more spot on.
Yeah, wait a second.
So the government pacifies the populace through violent TV shows. Its most popular being The Running Man, a broadcast game show. Wait, what? Oh no. Right? A broadcast game show where criminals fight for their lives as runners, fleeing from armed mercenaries called stalkers to earn a government pardon in tropical vacation, which we all know in the movie is not real. But I mean,
like in this movie.
That's
where it's not real either. It's literally the same.
Literally the same movie.
Yeah, great call.
And then meets Free Guy, because then that's the gaming aspect, right? And you got the heads up display, and you got this character he's not really controlled by anyone, but he just he breaks control of being an NPC character, right? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, he's being controlled by his programming, so yeah,
right,
for sure.
Right. And then he breaks free from that. So this movie, the main character, he breaks free from his controller Simon there and saves the day.
Yeah. Also has a stupid ending. So
Yep. Yeah.
Just like this movie.
just like this movie. There's two other things I want to throw in for the fast facts. We're going to do some retcon here of fast facts.
Fast fact retcon already? We're a corrections corner inside the episode?
Not a corrections, but sorry, additions. So I also want to throw out there. So I was doing some digging on this, and I came across like a couple of articles. One on Polygon, which I actually enjoy Polygon, but I don't know if I enjoy it. I don't know if I enjoy it anymore now. It's a video game website. And there's someone defending Gamer, this movie, and saying how it is ultimately an accurate satire of the current days. This article was written in 2021.
Which, like, they had so much time to digest this movie. Like, why would you be a Gamer apologist?
Yeah.
Like, it's way more offensive even than it was in 2009 in 2021.
Yeah. And it's not this movie is absolutely terrible. Good. I was actually annoyed watching this movie. I hate it so much.
Same.
I feel like the directors, like, again, hey, make your art, do your thing, but I honestly just find something else to do, because like,
yeah, they
have like, it's like they have zero, like, did they even go to film school? Like, they have any sense of like how to work a camera? It was so obnoxious to watch.
Yeah. Like, thank God it's fast. It's the only thing that saves this movie. Is like, it's like an hour and 32 minutes or something like that. Yeah. Like the series finale of Succession is longer than this movie.
Great. And way better.
Yeah.
So we have one person who wrote about, how this is a satire and how coming true, blah, blah, blah. And, okay, sure. And then I came across this other guy. What's his name?
Oh,
here?
no.
He wrote a Stephen, I don't know what his name
Can't
is.
even pay for the HTTPS, huh?
Yeah, right? Not secure.
Stephen
Shaviro, who's like I guess a philosopher, I don't know, whatever. He wrote a 10,000 word. I kind of want to read it, but I don't. Basically defending this movie and how accurate it is in terms of the satirical aspects of it and why it's, kind of nailed it in where the world is today.
Oh my God.
Stop.
Fascinating.
Just stop. Just stop. Just
incredible. Just
come on. Like, put your energy towards something else. Like, this movie is not good, period.
Yeah. Why are people like this?
Yeah. And right. It's like, why what are you doing? Yeah, sure. Like, the direct, like they all right, I'm going to stop because it's frustrating me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So listener, the takeaway here is some people take this movie seriously.
Yes.
Bafflingly. Don't see it. Don't take it seriously. Don't do it. Don't have anything to do with this movie.
Yeah.
Other than listen to this episode.
I just think that there's other movies and film, like, watch The Running Man if you want to talk about a satirical or like a take on like the world. Like, that movie was made in 1987. Read the book. Like,
listener homework. Go watch The Running Man instead.
And I what they're trying to do. Like, you can see it, but it's just like,
and like,
doesn't land.
None of the characters in this movie, I'm sure we'll get into it, are likable at all. Like, literally not one of the characters you're rooting for.
Yeah. No.
Like, I was trying to think of a character I was rooting for, and it was like, maybe Terry Crews.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like, I kind of hope he kills everyone.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to see, like, turn Terry Crews loose.
Yeah, turn him loose.
I hate everyone else in this movie.
And also that 10,000 word article also starts with, like, obviously there was a big Pinocchio, right?
Yeah.
No strings attached thing going on.
Which Terry Crews, good singer.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Carries a tune just fine. James Roday and Maggie Lawson were the highlight for me.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, there was not a single highlight for me in this movie other than like the terrible dialogue and laughing at it.
Yeah.
Like, it was so painful to watch, but we're going to get to it.
What a treat.
All right, well, let's get to it. Should we just
pipe it up?
I'm ready to ruin this movie. So
let's go.
Let's do it. All right. So it opens, we got Lionsgate, right?
Yep.
Kind of big opening with like gears and all this. I don't know.
Yeah. And immediate start of Sweet Dreams. Marilyn Manson brings us in again.
Oh my God. I was like, yep, I'm going to hate this movie right off the bat.
Yeah. I was like, oh, good. They're doing the trailer.
Yeah. So cue the Marilyn Manson, Lakeshore Entertainment. And we get a title card. Oh my God. I hate this. We're not even 2 minutes into it.
Nope. I know.
First title card. Some years from this exact moment. What?
Asinine.
Don't do it. Don't have it. You don't need it.
Don't need it at all.
Just make the movie.
Yeah. Just make the movie.
Just make the movie.
Or put a year on it. Tell me it's 2034.
Sure.
Fine.
But some years from this exact moment.
Like, they're like, oh, guys, this movie's gonna be so poignant. Like, we got to future proof this. Like, don't we can't just put 2034 on it because this movie has universal appeal for the next 50 years.
Easily. So what do you think? How do we do this? How do we tell people when it is?
Yeah.
Some
Instead
years.
of saying in the future a bit, or like just writing anything else, we're going to say some years from this exact moment because we're assholes.
One of these, I'm sorry. I like these two guys. Like, I'm sorry. I watched the first Crank movie. I didn't like it. It was just the same frenetic, obnoxious way it was shot.
Sure.
And, you guys come at me. I don't care. I will tell you you're wrong. But
one of these Crank fans out there, let us know.
Someone thought this line and was just like, yeah, that's it. That's cool. Yeah.
So profound.
Some years from this exact moment.
We're gonna, and other thing I think we need to preface this with, because we did it for the trailer too. We're gonna probably burn through a lot of this movie with like explosion montage because it's indescribable. Like we just can't.
It's like
we just don't have time for that.
I think I mentioned earlier, like I don't think they went to film school or have any sense of where a camera should be, and like it's chaos. So jarring. It's chaos. I don't know if that was the point. Maybe it was, but
it definitely was the point. I think. Yeah.
I mean,
like they would tell you it's the point.
This is the point, by the way. The way this is.
Oh,
shot.
did you make it so that like it was kind of unwatchable? But yeah. Well, just like our present times, kind of unwatchable. Like,
am I right?
Really think about our system in society.
Go fuck yourself. Go puke in a gas tank. Hold on. Anyway, so let me open up with like time lapse shots of city shots, whatever. A lot of stuff's from the trailer, right?
A lot of cable promos. Everyone's talking about cable, which again, listeners, is spelled Kable because
like cable TV. We're all watching. Oh my god.
Yeah. So the movie's like already priming us on this is his thing.
Yeah, and just showing how big it is, right? This is the reality TV show that everyone watches. It's in everyone's. It permeates through everyone's life. It's
at the pyramids.
Yes, it's
everywhere.
It got to a point where they this took so long. I'm like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, wait, we're on the pyramids now?
Yeah. It was a full 2 minutes of nonsense.
Shot of like Michael C. Hall, right? So, okay, so he's important. This is important. This is it, right? Slayers, that's the name of the show, has kind of taken over the world, right? It's the thing to watch, right?
Yeah.
They even give us some exposition like on the projection things like 4 matches away from freedom. Can he do it?
Yeah. So frustrating.
Which they repeat like 3 or 4 more times throughout the rest of the movie.
Yes. And everything is awful.
Yes.
Immediately I was like, do I have to watch this?
What have we done? Thais, what have you done to us? All right. And then we get right into the action, right? And
sirens, explosions, video game noises, gunfire.
So we're like in a warehouse, and I didn't know what to write here. It's just absolute chaos. Nothing makes any sense. Yeah. I was like, okay, this is Call of Duty, basically. This is Warzone. You're playing in a video game. Like that's what it is. Okay, yeah, you kind of nailed the chaos of that, but it's like unwatchable.
Important for the listener, I guess, to know at this point. This is when they kind of show you that. You have to get to the save point. So it's like, it's kind of explaining that this is a survival thing. Yeah. You don't have to do any violence if you don't want to, probably.
You could just go to the save point.
If you can make it to the save point, you're good.
Yeah.
So he's just like running around Jerry Butts, doing his thing, shooting all kinds of stuff.
Literally murdering people.
Dozens of human beings.
So they're all convicts, by the way, but death row convicts, right?
Of course, right. So obviously
it's okay. It's okay.
Deserving of crime.
Yeah, it's obviously okay then.
Yeah, exactly.
The second chances aren't a thing.
Yeah, so stupid. Like lots of weird looking people too. Like they're trying to make it like that, like future punk. Like I don't know, people dress weird and having. I don't know, guys with crazy teeth and like
they do that a lot to this, right? It's like it feels forced. It feels forced and doesn't make any sense, right? Like they try to make this like future world where things are different and people got piercings and tattoos and it's like
and then they make it feel like 2009 because they're like you got to teabag them like when they kill people, which is I don't know. Like Thais asked a good question of like, well, like how would this movie be different if it was made now with like Fortnite dances?
Everyone doing the floss.
Like, like everybody's got different skins and stuff. Like,
so like over the top, like shaky cam, like bullshit. I literally wrote down, I was like, these guys should never direct another film ever again. This is terrible.
It's their style. It's like they say what you will. These guys have made a like a stylistic thing. Like, it's these guys watching Crank or Gamer or what, like.
I know, and I hate
Good
to
job,
shit on.
dude.
I mean, I hate to. Hey, make your art, do your thing, but
It's artistic signature.
God damn it, this is so fucking terrible.
Bad.
And then we introduced like the glitchy thing, like it's like we're on a video game, right? Which was in the trailer, so it kind of feels like a video game. Like, oh, there's like a whatever. Yeah, and then he just murders a bunch of dudes and gets blown out of a warehouse window, and then
Bodies piling up,
right?
Yeah.
And then he spots a glitchy, that's the save point, right? And he's kind of making his way towards it, and it just cuts right to the movie title card, Gamer.
Sick. Good intro.
Yeah, start us with the action. Okay. And then we're in like the transport shot from the trailer, right?
Yep.
And then we get kind of just a bunch of dudes just talking about trying to get out, right?
Yeah, exposition about his name is Tillman. He's like, call me Tillman, because they're like, Cable, like blah blah blah. He's like, I'm not Cable, I'm Tillman. Like,
right.
like why? This is stupid. Like, why make the distinction?
And then we cut to Telnet, right? Our big network, right? Basically,
who's this guy? Because it's like he's like knock off Jimmy Fallon, and I can't place him.
So Bob is,
he looks like Jimmy Fallon, doesn't he? Kind of.
John Delancey. He's a Star Trek guy.
Oh, wait, it's Q?
Yeah,
that was Q. He looked so different.
It was like one of the other random kind of like I guess I'd call it a cameo. He was in the movie for like a minute, right?
Yeah, probably a couple minutes altogether.
But this was just his one scene though, and that was it.
Yeah. No, he's in a couple scenes.
Oh, he's in more later on.
Yeah. With what's her face?
Kyra Sedgwick.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
So he pops up. So then it's just
like that guy.
So honestly, like it was so hard to hear. I ended up turning on the closed captions here, but yeah, they basically have a walk and talk. So we're introduced to him, right? And then we're introduced to Kyra Sedgwick's character, who is oh my god, I already forgot.
Saying something about Barbara Walters. They're like, okay.
Yeah, Gina Parker Smith. So she's like kind of like the face of like a interview TV show that's more about ratings than it is about actual content. Type like. All right, there's your commentary about the media, right?
Yep.
And they have like a walk and talk, and I don't even know what they were talking about.
It doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter.
I don't think
I didn't like something about Barbara Walters. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like something stupid nonsense. They're like, oh, like news isn't even news anymore. That's kind of the premise they're trying to get at. It's like, she's like the last person with integrity, or she's like trying to pretend to be the last person with integrity in the thing.
It's just stupid. Like, it's like ham-fisted, commentary. This doesn't feel natural. Like, I don't know.
Nope. First of all right, hold on. We have to go back a second here, because it's not that guy. That is not the guy he's in this movie, obviously, but that is not the guy who's her partner here. It's Michael Weston. It's Michael Weston.
Oh, no, not a partner.
Knock off Jimmy Fallon, Michael Weston.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Well, but they talk with what's his face there.
Yes, yeah. They do talk to him. Yeah. Sorry, I meant knock off Jimmy Fallon. Michael Weston.
her buddy who's in it for okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he comes back. He comes back later, but the guy they're talking to doesn't show up at all again. So
yes, correct. You're right. Hugh doesn't ever come back. That's why we got off to a bad start here.
Yeah. All right. This movie.
I hate this movie. We're 2 minutes in.
It's so infuriating. All right. So then I don't know how to describe this. So
it's like it's like a profile kind of Ken Castle, Michael C. Hall's character.
Yes.
Where it's like they're like doing clips of him in like an interview, and he's like, we live in society. We live in a society. Which one's more real? Really real? Know what I mean?
We live in a society. This is a society.
He's like trying to do like almost like a Matthew McConaughey voice. Which one's really more real?
All right.
Know what I mean?
Matthew McConaughey meets Colonel Sanders. That's what he's kind of doing, and he doesn't hold it very well for the entire movie. But anyway,
no, he drops it half the time.
I was like, he's an idiot. He's annoying. But he's an inventor of Society and Slayers, the two big games, / shows, right? Streaming.
Kyra Sedgwick does a bunch of like exposition.
Like, he just about who he is, how much money he made, how successful he is,
and intercut with him being like rickety dickety doo.
This took so long. I'm trying to think of like movies where like you do a little exposition to kind of give you a sense of a character. And first thing that popped in my head was Iron Man. Remember the first Iron Man? Yes, they did it in like 1 second, but it was part of a scene of him getting an award that he didn't show up for. That is perfect. That sums up the character. Cool. He's a billionaire. He's smart.
And that's not exposition, really. Like, it's it is. Like, they kind of fit it in with but like it fits. It's fine.
Yeah.
and it's quick.
Yes, took forever.
Yes. Like they're like, oh, he's the richest man in the universe. You have to call it out, apparently. And then, it's make it all about this new controversial prison game called Slayers.
Yeah. So like the Society was the first one he came up with, right? And that is basically like The Sims or like Second Life or whatever, right? But
extreme.
The whole thing is you're controlling people, right?
And so obviously it devolves into people just like doing drugs and having sex. And
because of course.
Because of course it does. Right.
And then we get a ton of exposition. He's like, well, the Slayers now, that is funded by the U.S. government. So these are death row convicts. They give us they cue us up about everything, right? How the tech, he gets into a little bit of how the tech works, right? The neural network, nano bullshit.
They introduced Simon Silverton and Cable as like characters. By name. Like, oh, and his player, blah, blah, blah. And then they like talk about how like the NPCs are like other people that are also prisoners that they just like jam in there. And they're like, well, they only have to survive one match and they get set free. And you're like, but they don't. Like none of them ever survive. So like, what's the point of this? And it's intercut between absolute chaos. The camera, it was driving me nuts. Like I was like, do they even know where a camera should be placed? No.
I was like, I don't know what's going on. And it was intercutting with him having this interview with Kyra Sedgwick character in like a studio. And then it was cut with like kind of like a Charlie Rose type interview, right? And it was like just right. And it was like kind of going back and forth like really fast. And it was just like, yeah, I think it was all the same interview, but yes, I know what you mean. Like they made it seem like it was like two different styles, and it was like, I don't know, like, well, it's like two different times, like two different interviews, and like there was one where
that's where I was like, I thought it was all with that. I don't like. I think they were like playing video clips from a different, like within the interview. I think it was all taking place within the interview with Kyra Sedgwick, but it was like,
but they definitely cut to him being
yes.
What the fuck?
Like I think they were like playing clips of other things. Like yes, it was very frustrating.
So for like all the the film buffs of film students out there. So there's the 180 rule, right, where you need to keep the camera on one side so you know where people are. They blew that out the window, and it's everywhere. There's a reason why it's a rule, because it's just to give you a sense of where things are. Right. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like,
yeah. And they tried to make it like the future. So they're like, look, everything's a screen. There's screens everywhere. So like, that's what they're like playing the interview clips, like on the screens in the studio that we're on. And you're like, why is this happening? Yeah. And then they like briefly delve into like the message of the movie. I'm doing the airiest air quotes, listeners.
They're so airy.
Where he's like, well, and like some people want to be a little controlled, right? Like make all your decisions for you. You don't have to worry about anything. Like, wouldn't that be nice sometimes to just have somebody else drive? Yeah. While you, no. Asinine. Except for everyone's like, yeah, okay, yeah.
And then the TV, the I don't know, the big screens in the studio get hacked, right? And we get our first sense. We meet.
Yeah. While he's eating a Tootsie Pop, which I love, which it's an orange one, which everyone knows is the worst flavor of Tootsie Pop. So
come on, Ken Castle, grow up.
Ken Castle, grow up. That's right. It must be known.
So then like their TV monitors in the background get hacked from our humans hacker group here, Ludacris.
So stupid.
And it's so terrible. And he's basically just like, Ken Castle's a big liar. And they're like, we can't get it. Where is this coming from? They're hackers. We don't know what we're doing.
Mind control is slavery is like his whole thing.
Maybe it's because it like the satire is too on the nose. I think that's the problem. It's not satire. It's not satire. Right.
Like it's just they're playing it straight.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, okay. Like don't say all the things.
That's not how you do satire.
Imply some things. But Ken Castle's like, that's a goddamn hoot. I love this. Like, take a look might want to have the boys take a look at your firewall.
How about you have my crew take a look at the firewall?
Yeah.
What is going on?
I'd like to breach your firewall one of these days. An actual line from the movie. He says to Kyra Sedgwick. Why?
All right. So then we cut to prison yard, right?
Yep.
And it cuts right to just some dude bashing a guard's head in,
awesome. Unnecessary. Like so much ultra violence for no reason.
No. It's like, what is going on? So then the guy's bashing in a guard's head or whatever, and then the guards get all the prisoners like under control, and this guy just goes running. I guess it was to show you that you can't escape prison. And then he gets shot in the air, but then I was going to
say, I think he does escape. Like he just gets yeeted out of the prison yard, basically. Like
it's one of those moments. Whoa. I thought he was going to explode or something. I was like, all right. There's a chip in his head. Like his brain's going to blow me on pop. No,
or he just gets shoot him or like.
Nope. He just shoots off into the air.
Yep.
But we don't know where he landed.
Presumably fine, I guess. I don't know.
And then it cuts to G-Butts and he's just chilling. I was like, is the guy going to land like right next to him?
Nope. He's just picking up sand in his hand, looking at sand, doing sand stuff.
Playing with sand, because that's what you do when you're in prison, right?
Very, very Anakin Skywalker, just pensively looking at sand.
And this whole sequence is hilarious. So he's like having memories of his family, right? So, he's a family man, right? And then he's like,
so boring.
There's shots of like other prisoners, whatever. And then there's him focusing on this guy who's got like leg braces. Right. And that cues a memory of his little daughter walking.
Yeah, asinine.
Anyway, so then we cut to John Leguizamo shows
up. Finally, yeah, friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod with his ugly tooth. That's the only thing I could pay attention to. I don't know what he's saying.
He's pretty offensive. Yeah. So he's like, first of all, he calls him Tillsman, which is kind of funny because he's like, oh, Cable, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, my name's John Tillman. And he's like, oh, right, Tillsman. Yeah. And you're like, why are you this way? Is this the script or is Leguizamo improving? I really want to know. And basically like does a bunch more exposition about like the 27 battles. No one's ever done it before.
We know this already.
Dropping N-words. You're like, John Leguizamo. Like, what?
2009. Let's go easy, but
I'm not sure this movie plays the way that you think it does. Like, and then basically he's like, tells Cable he's scared of him. And like, that's his whole, how he ends it. And he's like, okay, bye.
Well, it's also just like a little exposition about Cable, like Tillman here, like G-But's character, like, oh, you're quiet, you don't talk, it kind of spooks me, right? And it's like, oh, it make him seem like he's badass. It's like, just, we saw the opening of him murdering a bunch of people. Right. We know he's badass.
We know. Yeah.
We know.
And then it cuts to like weird spoiler scene of like basically the whole, if you had to say there was a twist of the movie, which there's not, they show it right here. They showed like the cut scene of like him shooting some guy in an interrogation room.
Well, but I think initially, but this version, he wasn't there, right? It was just a guy like who was in an interrogation room. He falls back and like and blood just coming out of his head. He's not there, right? But it's like, all right,
obviously he did it.
Obviously Castle made you do this. Like, I mean, I don't know, like the guy who his mind control. Anyways, and then we cut to the wife house.
I thought we were on a bus.
Well, yeah, it's kind of.
There's a commuting thing.
Yeah. She's we just get her, and then she's on a bus ride, and she's just crying, and then there's like a ton of ads for Slayers, and
sorry, I just like skip half of the movie.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna move quickly through this. Yeah, and we're back in jail, right? And then this is we get it's from the trailer, but someone sneaks a photo of his wife and daughter.
So weird. I hate this scene,
and it's all from the trailer. We don't see her, but then she's like, "Can I get your autograph?"
My son David's your biggest fan. And you're like, what? And then she's like, can I get a little bit of your blood to make it authentic? And he's like,
well, she just like snags some blood from him. I mean, it comes back later, but
it comes back. But like, why would you make it this way? Like explain it at the time or like explain it less, right? Like,
yeah.
And he's like, why would anyone want my name? And you're like, you don't know what's going on out here. Like they established later, he's been in prison for 4 years, and you're like, this has all happened in 4 years. Like the whole world has completely changed in 4 years. Like, come on.
Anyway, so then we're in Society, the video game. It cuts to it, and
I think it's worth calling out also that there's like this is how they do transitions in this movie, where they just like do random shots of things that I'm assuming are also probably stolen from other movies. I'm guessing,
probably.
Like the pyramids at the beginning. It's just like there's like a blue eyeball, and they just like zoom in on a blue eyeball that like closes, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
Transitions are awful. But give me a good night castle any day from that Christmas movie we watched.
Just give me something.
Give me a night castle.
Just give me a time lapse city shot.
Sure. Yeah.
Done.
Weird eyeball.
Weird eyeball.
They're like, guys, this would be artsy.
Yeah.
People will get this.
They just go like, oh, this is cool. It's not doing it.
You know, it'd be cool.
Yeah. Which is not the way to do.
You know, there hasn't been enough boobs yet. Don't worry. I'll fix that. I'm imagining the conversation between the two of them.
Because, that's what society would be, just boobs. So then we cut to
people love boobs.
The video game Society, right? And we're in there. Bloodhound Gang kicks on.
Boom, 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 boom. And it's like a slow-mo version.
What an obnoxious song. So then, it's basically just showing what their
hedonism.
Yeah,
basically, just like
they're not. It's not satire. They're on the two on the nose commentary about what people would do, anyways, right?
Sims and boobs and people and like doing
super quick
stuff.
cuts, like just chaos cuts, just people being dumb, nudity everywhere. And just because, weird shit, because that's cool, right? I mean, I guess that's what people would do, right?
Like a dog pees on a lady. You're like,
yeah.
Why? Why? Yep. It's great. And we all, listeners, we didn't talk about this in the podcast, but before we started recording, we were like, the other lazy pitch we could have done is any of the kissing booths, because this movie, I think, competes with it for amount of montage. Like,
oh god, yeah,
probably 40% of this movie is montage.
So we're in the game, right? And then it does we see Cable Tillman's wife there,
Mrs. Cable.
She's in the game, right? And we learn later on that she's an actor, and she basically just,
they call it acting.
She's being controlled by someone else, right? But then it intercuts with like the real world people, right? Kind of we could have done Matrix too. There's like a Matrix thing going on here, right? Where like you cut to the people that are controlling the people that are in the game.
Yeah.
And I think I hate that they make them gross, disgusting, slobby people, right? Like eating fucking chicken wing, blah, 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 and just, I'm on my couch, I'm controlling this person. I'm a guy and I'm controlling this woman. I'm going to go and make her do these things.
Yeah. Well, it's specifically this one guy.
Yes.
Like presumably he's a credited role, I would assume.
I would think so. I mean, he's in it quite a bit. So
yeah, the guy who controls the wife's character mostly is like this, like really gross dude with no shirt. Like if you've ever seen listeners, the South Park episode where they do the World of Warcraft, like what the boys turn into, like like Cartman's mom, like bringing a pan for him to shit in. Like it's that kind of character that we're looking at here.
Which is so over the top. So yeah,
remember Gluttony from Seven?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's basically that guy.
And then she's her name is Nika, right?
Yeah.
In the game, and then she's like kind of flirting with some pig face Ron,
which I thought was Rape Man at first.
No, that's not Rape Rick. Rick Rape,
right.
No.
Rick Rape, right?
Rick Rape comes up later.
Because again, the writers and directors of this are not creative people. Oh, this guy who like rapes people. Oh, let's just call him Rick Rape. That's fun.
Yeah,
that's fun, right?
Alliteration's always fun.
Yeah, we'll have him hang out with Cum Dumpster number 2. It's 2009. This will play. What?
Okay. So, anyways, then we got to move on. Then the game gets hacked by humans. Humans, right? The hacker group hacks the game again.
I hate this too. Why would you call them this? Why would you make Ludacris the front man? Everything about it.
Yeah. So our real gamer there, the fat guy who's just kind of like a mess, he gets a game over message and he's like, more chicken. And then we cut to, I think we're in Ken Castle's home, Michael C. Hall's character, I think, and he's doing a Zen moment and doing so I guess apparently the future we're just gonna be surrounded by screens. We're gonna have a room that's just surrounded by screens where internet happens and we get all our feeds.
Look at my office, listeners. You can't see it, but my office is just covered in giant screens.
There's screens all around him right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
we're living this future.
So yeah, he's getting a news feed and he's just hanging out eating popcorn or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we got our psych characters are talking about how the humans hacker group disrupted society and whatever.
Yep.
Was it 3 billion people or whatever was disrupted or something like that? I don't know. He's eating chips. He's not phased by it. He's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it was down for 3 hours, and for some reason that's bad, I guess.
Yeah, and imagine Facebook going down for 3 hours.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Happens all the time. Everyone's like, okay, I guess I'll go outside for a walk.
Yeah, like, well, I guess we'll go do genocide in real life instead.
And we get a ton of exposition from them about humans, the hacker group, right? And just a ton of quick cutting. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're back on the prison transport, right?
Some of Sandra. This is the you were mentioning her earlier, who does
Zoe Bell.
Zoe Bell, yeah.
She's been in the last 3 Tarantino movies, but.
Trying to make small talk with our cable guy here.
Yeah, cable guy. And there's like seizure-inducing like flickering lights going on because apparently in the future on prison transports lights don't work.
Yep, that's right.
That would drive me nuts if I worked there. Like, just can we fix the light bulbs? Like,
yeah. Also, like Jerry's got 15 lines in this whole movie. Like, what a good gig for him. He's like, stop talking. And you're like, oh, okay.
This is just chaos. So I don't know how have you talked about this. So then we were on the Slayer map, game map, right?
Exactly. They run out. It's time to survive. We got
it's
helicopters shooting missiles overhead, which doesn't seem fair. There's weird people begging for change. Yeah. And you're like, wait, why are you here? Like, they're like, oh no, this would be commentary, satire.
Satire.
Stick that in.
It's just absolute chaos.
Yeah.
From
burning trucks, flipping, slow-mo.
What's actually happening in the scene, but also just the way it's put together. It is absolute chaos. There's no reason for it. It's all the trailer. Yeah. More of the glitchy bullshit. You get the slow-mo car flipping over.
Yeah.
Just
total
this time, chaos.
The backdrop is some weird slow piano music. And you're like, what? Why? They do a little more first person. There's a big montage of violence.
More HUD shots, right? And then we cut to G Butts and Zoe Bell's character. They're running they're in an alley, and her head just explodes, gets blown off.
Yeah.
I guess you're capturing the chaos of playing a Call of Duty game or Fortnite, or I don't know. It's just everyone running around doing whatever they want.
I guess so.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I hate myself for doing this.
Yep.
Right before that, it's important for the character of Cable that he kind of tries to save one of his fellow prisoners.
Yeah. Who are the NPC characters, right? And he
exactly.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird because but Simon's controlling him this entire time. So.
Well, they kind of explain that later too, where he's not really.
Yeah.
It's the movie makes sense when never. It doesn't. I was gonna say it just explains away its own logic at various points, and you're like, oh no, okay. I was controlling me, but also you were controlling me, and sometimes they take full control of me, but sometimes not quite.
What is this explanation? It's either it's 1 or 0. I don't know. It's a video game.
So stupid.
And then we intercut with shots of just to show you how globally important this is. I loved the cities they picked for this.
Yeah, same. I missed one, but
so they literally cut to shots of crowds cheering, right? And it starts in Los Angeles. Everyone's like, yeah, and then it goes to London, then it goes to Baghdad, and then it goes to Bombay,
and then Beijing, and you're like, what? Why?
I guess maybe population wise,
what? Pick any other city in the Middle East. I don't pick Tehran. I don't know. A more consequential place.
It was just so weird. And was it definitely footage?
I guess it's 2009.
Yeah, it's 2000. Yeah, right. Oh, right.
Iraq war is still happening.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, I guess just to show we're all united over this. The movie's in 2009, but it takes place in 2034. So
right, which presumably the Iraq war still would have been happening. We just finished that one recently.
Who knows? We could fire it back up again. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, when in doubt, just
any day now.
Yeah, oh my God. So yeah, and these are definitely this is stock footage from other movies or something. This is just random. It's just bad. And then we cut back to the transporter, right? We got some dude who's freaking out.
Just going nuts. Yeah.
Losing his shit. And his line is, "Who's playing us, man? We're
all gonna die. I'm not supposed to be here." You're like, all right, well,
I don't know. Did you murder someone on the outside?
Yeah. Seems like you committed a felony. A death row warranting felony.
So then we get we meet Simon, right?
It's our first Simon.
Simon says, and he comes in hot.
Yeah, eating a peanut butter sandwich. Guy loves peanut butter.
Loves PB&Js, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out in his beanbag chair room, which
enemy of the pod, peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Right, because we don't like peanut butter. That's well, 50% of us don't like peanut butter.
That's right. And by don't like, you mean murder butter.
Murder butter. So he's eating enemy of the pod PB&J sandwich. And he's got his feeds. He's in his room that's got just screens everywhere, right? And can interact with them, right?
Just rattling off problematic.
I don't even I was like, whoa.
It's not quite John Leguizamo N-words, but pretty close.
Dropping a lot of retards, a lot of gays around, left and right. And I was like, no. Yeah. I was like, well, this did come out in 2009. Was that? No.
No, that wasn't cool then. Why put that in the movie?
Yeah. So he's basically just a stereotype of I guess video gamers, right? Because that's how they all talk, right?
I guess.
I guess. So he's scrolling through his inventory for the game, right? And
Yeah.
and then it's just like a bunch of women popping up in his feeds, like propositioning him for stuff, like trying to take ownership of cable, like trying to pay him. We see more boobies.
Yep. I thought one of these was his sister.
Stepsister?
Maybe, yeah.
I hope. I hope.
You smell like Jeffrey Dahmer. What does Jeffrey Dahmer smell like? Enlighten me.
Dead humans, Jared. Dead humans.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and then we just more boobs.
Yep.
And the cum
offers
dumpsters
here. Is this the cum dumpster sisters?
Yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah, the twins.
Oh, that's them. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. But they offer him at one point 100 million euros.
Yeah, which is how many fanatics?
Dude, so many.
I would have taken them. Like, all right, done, sold.
Yes, like in a second. Like, right. I guess he doesn't need I don't know. His dad's rich, presumably. We get that.
Yeah, that's kind of later.
Yeah,
so he doesn't need the money.
How rich? 100 million euros rich? Like, come
on. So yeah, then his feed gets hacked, right? By humans.
Yeah, that's right.
And we get Ludacris showing back up again, right?
Well, and they're like, if you want to talk to Cable,
we can show you how.
That's right.
That'll come back later. And then let me cut to, I guess we're just King Castle's. Castle. Yeah, the Castle's castle, right?
Yeah.
And he's meeting with his team right there. And they're talking about.
From the trailer.
Yeah, it's all from the trailer. They talk about, and they introduce Terry Crews here, right?
Yeah. They're like, Cable's what the people want until they get to see him die at the very end. And then that's when we introduce Terry Crews, who is going to be the Cable killer.
Who is also just breathing heavily for way too long.
Yeah, it's kind of his thing.
All right, this is too long. This is awkward now.
Yep.
Let's move on.
Yep.
So we learn about the ping, and there's right?
We do, but it's stupid because it doesn't impact anything in the story. They try to make it into a thing that impacts the story, and it doesn't really.
Oh yeah,
right. Like they never really capitalize on that as a thing that exists as a delay.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of do when Terry Crews shows back up later and beats him up, and then when he's
but he doesn't lose because of the delay.
Well, when he gets let loose though,
yeah,
later then he just kicks the shit out of him it's no big deal.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's they don't.
I agree. It's they make
it's very frustrating.
They call it out as a big thing, but it's not played correctly.
His only weakness, Cable's only weakness, is the delay between Simon's computer, and him getting instructions. Yeah, and you're
and they introduce Terry Crews as he's got no strings attached, and then we get the whole Pinocchio thing going on.
Right. Well, yeah, because we cut to the locker room where we get some guy clawing out his own spine, basically. And you're like, wait. Again, unnecessary ultra violence, and everyone just watches.
Yeah, he just falls over. He's dead. And we get exposition about Terry Crews, the Hackman.
Yeah, who has
from
a cool
John
neck
Leguizamo.
scar.
Yeah, from John Leguizamo. And then it's John Leguizamo giving us exposition about Terry Crews' character to Cable, and they're in jail and they're in prison. They keep cutting between them having this conversation and Terry Crews just working out and breathing heavily again, very aggressively. It's
Hackman just killed a bunch of people and then turned himself in. Crazy, right? The guy's crazy.
In case you don't get it, he's crazy. I just want to let you know.
And then the guards are like, Cable, upgrade time. And John Leguizamo was like, why don't you upgrade me? And he's like, why don't you shut the fuck up?
And then it's 2 minutes of John Leguizamo just being just swearing.
Oh, man,
you shut the fuck up. How about you shut the fuck up? Fuck you, shut the fuck up.
Upgrade me. Whoa.
Why? What is going on here? Oh my God. And then we cut to the prison yard, right? And this is where we get we get our
really. This is when they do the gun upgrade. That's the upgrade scene.
Okay.
A shooting range. Basically.
But he's in prison, and a guard comes and gets him, and the guard is talking to him, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, this is the guard is the one who's going through the upgrade stuff. With him.
Okay.
And he's like, so who aims? Is it the player or the slayer?
Oh, learn more. Yeah,
a bunch more exposition from Cable about. He's like, well, there's it's mostly me. He's like, I'm doing all the stuff, but sometimes they can take over completely. But then it doesn't work because of the delay, the ping. You're like, okay, cool.
All right.
Stop trying to make that a thing because it's not important.
Yeah. Just stop.
And then he's like, yeah, but when that trigger pulls, it's all me, baby.
Oh my god! And then we cut to the prison bathroom, right? And we got shirtless G Butts. He's cleaning up, right? Cleaning up his scars and stuff. And then Terry Crews shows up, and I think he's just naked.
Probably, yeah.
I think he was just naked. I was like, okay, whatever it is.
Which,
sure,
cool.
do your thing. So,
but he's like, look, I just killed somebody. Look, this is their blood. Look.
What?
He's back here right now. You want to see a dead body? And Cable's like, your head ain't on straight. Again, one of his like 15 lines in the whole movie.
Oh, it's so bad. And Terry Crews doing more of the neck cracking thing where he's like, cracking his own neck,
I'll kill you someday too.
And then he starts singing a Pinocchio song, right?
Yeah.
No strings attached. I don't know. Right.
Yep. Got
and
no
then
strings hold me down.
Yeah. And he threatens Cable and he's like, you got 2 whores on the outside. He's like, what did you just
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I meant you're pretty girls.
Ugh.
Yeah. And Cable gets pissed and goes after him, and then Terry Crews just disappears like he's like a ghost or something. I don't know. It's stupid. Anyways. Yeah. So now we're back in Simon's house, but it's kind of intercut between Simon controlling Cable and we're on the Slayer map, right? One of the whatever.
He introduces himself to him.
And he's like, how can you talk to me? Yeah. He's like, how can you talk to me? He's like, oh, it's a mod, whatever. He's like, players aren't supposed to talk to cons. It's like, what? And it's like, and while he's like having this conversation, there's like a dirt bike just goes like flying by, like in flames, just like what?
Okay.
But then it's just like a bunch of more HUD stuff, more intercut with Simon controlling, Cable, right?
Yeah, he's like, I'm 17. He's like, pay attention to the fucking game. But then we get John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
he's an NPC just walking around with a broom, and he just gets shot.
Yeah, some guy uses him as a shield, and Cable's sad, and he's like, "But they're people." And Simon's like, "But it's Death Row Psychos. They had it coming. Who gives a shit?" And he's like, "Well, I'm a Death Row Psycho too." And he's like, "No, but you're my psycho."
And then there's more action, more explosions, blah blah blah, right? And then they find a new area of the map.
Well, yeah, Cable wants to go there.
Yes. But then they find a new area, and then he tries to go like off the map, and this is kind of important later on. Simon's like, "You can't go there, man. Whatever. Like,
it's restricted.
Get back in the game."
Yeah, even if I wanted to, I couldn't take you there. It's stupid.
And then we just cut to Terry Crews just sneaking up on Cable and almost kills him, but doesn't. Right.
Well,
and then I was confused. I didn't get why this just stopped like this though.
Terry sneaks up on him, pulls a gun, puts it to his forehead, pulls the trigger, and then the bullet just kind of falls out of the gun. And you're like, what? And then basically like they kind of just like blow past it after that. Like then Terry like goes away and Cable's like, well,
like
you're
the guards
killed, Simon.
The guards come in and grab him.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, someone didn't want you to die right now, apparently. And so like,
but he was supposed.
It was Ludacris maybe hacking the thing or something.
Oh, maybe, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It was stupid. They never explained it, but basically this is his last chance. And he tells the kid, Simon, he's like, you got to turn me loose. You want to win? Like turn me loose, find a way. Yeah. And then he gets like dragged off back to prison.
Okay. And then we cut to, the custody whatever place or and this is where the wife is applying to get custody of the kid,
Delia.
So and this is where we see Sam Whitwer, whatever his name is, Whitmer or whatever. His big scene, and he's basically
like, your husband was convicted of first-degree murder. Like he's not getting out of prison.
I love how he just like laughs in her face. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, you're like, don't you know about the game?
like, what?
Like, it seems like everyone else in the whole world does. Yeah,
Baghdad knows about the game. Bombay knows about the game.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And then he's like, you don't even have a job. And she's like, I do have a job. I'm an actor in society. And he's like, ugh, that's not a job. That's filthy sex work. And he's like, your kid's been placed with some wealthy family. Isn't she going to be way better off without you? And she's like, no, I'm her mother.
Was it this? As soon as they said this, you knew it was with Ken Castle, right? Like that was pretty obvious. Like as soon as they said it, I was like, oh, yeah.
I didn't think that. See, I thought it was just some wealthy family, and then I assumed that Ken kidnapped her later.
Yeah. Oh,
when
yeah.
That happens because like, why wouldn't he just do that also?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could.
It was
not a bad assumption.
But anyways, yeah, she's a wealthy family. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. And then we cut back to Simon's house, right? And he's playing with his inventory. He's buying some body armor, which comes back later.
Yeah. Good thing.
Yeah. Ludacris hacks him again, right? And talks with Simon. And just a bunch of exposition about Castle and Cable and their relationship, right? And Cable basically
wants the freedom to ass kick. You gonna give it to him? What?
And then basically we learn that Cable, G Butts there, he knows things that would ruin Castle and his empire, right? But yeah, dialogue is absolutely fucking terrible. We get a little more about the ping, but basically Ludacris is trying to convince Simon to cut Cable loose, right?
Yeah, and he's like, that'd be cheating. And he's like, look, man, this is too heavy. Like, this kid is a horrible actor.
Like, man, this is
too heavy. And he's like, yeah, man, it is heavy. The game has to evolve. Like, it's got to change. We can't,
This word
feel me? And he's like, I feel you, my giant brother. What?
You keep using this word heavy. Is there something wrong with the gravitational pull in the future?
Yeah. And Ludacris wraps up that scene by going, let's rock, baby. Good writing all around.
And then we're back at the prison cell, right? And the woman that talked to him earlier comes back to Cable, right? And basically,
did you talk to Simon?
Yeah.
How'd you know?
Yeah. And then basically she's like, Simon's gonna give you what you want. He's gonna cut you loose, right? But he has to escape the game,
right? Because you will never reach the save point. Castle won't let you. Your wife and daughter need you.
Yeah. And then he's basically he's like, I need one thing, right?
Yes, it's so stupid. I need you to get me something.
I hate this.
Drunk.
I hate this so much. And I hate this setup and what the quote unquote payoff is.
Oh my God. It's so dumb. Very funny.
So we got G Butts. He's in prison. He's working his way out. I think that's
one more battle, I think.
Yeah. I think that's kind of actually right at around the halfway point of the movie. So we're gonna call it there. So that's part one, right? So
listeners, in case you didn't pick up on that, we're halfway through the movie and we're about to do the last battle. So what's the rest of the movie?
I was like, I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of this movie.
We'll find out.
And will he get his freedom? Will he save his family? Probably. Will there be a dance number later on?
Almost certainly. Yeah. Just Terry Crews in the rest of the movie? Kinda.
Does this movie ever end up satiring? Not really. But hey, we'll get there. So that's part one. Thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with part two. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That, right? Team Teapot on Twitter. Subscribe wherever you're listening. Send it to friends. Send us to friends.
And if you're recommending us to your friends, you can also recommend us to strangers by writing a review online somewhere. Apple, Spotify, I don't know. Wherever they let you review stuff.
There is no stranger danger, right? When you're internet. Yeah. There's a lot of stranger danger.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Or send us an email if you want the security and safety of email. You can send us something, whatever you want. I don't know, attach viruses or something, weird files.
No, don't promote that. That's not.
Send us movie scripts that we can steal/produce.
Yeah, turn them into gold.
Yeah, exactly. Any kind of email, we'll read it in the trailer trash like we always do.
Yeah.
It's justmeetsthat@gmail.com. Or you can go to the website if you forgot everything that we just said. All that information and more. All the old episodes, 200 plus, hundreds of hours of great ITMT content.
So many movies.
It's thismeetsthat.com. Check it out.